Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of My Life. Now today we're talking about something that is a continuation from last week. Today we're talking about dating. Not dating specifically, but also your best and worst dates. Because look, you guys might not know this about me if you listen to this podcast or anything, but I am a classic romantic. I am kind of a romantic. I love love. I do. Even if it's not for me, even if it's for other people, even if it's for just the concept of it, because I love seeing people together. I love when people I know get together. I love checking up on. There's certain couples that I have a huge crushes on, where I'm just like, I got to make sure they're still together. Are they okay? Let me know. Like, you know, because like I like the couples who don't always like post themselves or just like put themselves out there. They're like kind of private about their relationship, because I'm the same way. Like if I'm in a relationship, you won't know about it. I am very subtle about it. I do not mention it. I do not make a big deal of it. I do not take couple pictures and post them anywhere. I take them for me so I can remember them and have them. But I don't post them out there because I'm just like, this isn't about you. My relationship is about me. let me have this for me. Also, I want to say, I think and this is just this is on me. This is not related to like science or any personal opinion. If there is a couple, and this is not about anyone specific. If there is a couple who only post about themselves, how in love they are, how much they admire and love the other person, and that is every post, everything they talk about, everything they ever do, that is a red flag. There is something going on there. I just can't tell you what, but there is something going on. I don't trust it. I just don't trust it. If you are only talking about your partner, you're only talking about you guys together, you're only talking about your love together, there is a problem. I don't know. There's no, I don't know. Someone fact check me on this, but I think there's something wrong. It's different when like, yeah, you know, you like, you do something with your partner, you show them, or it's like, you know, you just like do a random post of your partner, or just like, you know, you hang out with your partner, obviously, so they're going to be in things. Like if you guys just like occasionally just like, you know, you post about them, okay, and it's occasional, but you know, you have your own life to it. Like you mix your own stuff, what you do, your own dreams, wants, admirations, and your partner's just along for the ride. I feel like that's more normal. But when you only center everything around just your partner and their happiness, their essence, their everything, I'm like, there's something going on behind the scenes. I've noticed that with especially straight people. It's easy to indicate, because like it's 100% true with straight people. Gay people, I'm just like, I don't know, I still question it. But straight people, I love them, like when like it's a messy relationship and like the girl will always post on like an anniversary, just like, oh yeah, this is my baby. Like, even though we fight sometimes, and even though sometimes we argue and don't always agree, the minute they say that is a red flag that they are in danger. I'm like, girl, escape. Leave that man. You don't need the dick that badly. It's not a dick worth dying for. Leave. Run. It just, no. I've seen it too many times, and then they're in either a messy breakup or she traps him with a baby, and I'm just like, no, leave. But I do love romance. I do love love. I mean, that's one of the things that inspired this podcast, or for me to get back into talking about this, because like, yes, my own relationships, but also this was inspired by I was re-listening to a podcast I listened to years ago by Nico Tortorella, Tortilla Chip, and it was like him just basically talking about just like, I think it was like called The Love Bomb. You can look it up. It's like look up Nico, The Love Bomb, Google will pop up. But it was him kind of talking about, I think they go by they now. It was them talking about their past loves, their past experiences, and just how much that has changed them, how much that formed, and really getting to know the person. Like not even talking about themselves, but like really talking about their past love, what that person meant to them, where that person is now. You know, and I love that. I really love that concept, and I really think it was something beautiful, because like you really get to explore not only your side of love and the affection, but also another side completely. And I think that's great, because like another thing that also inspired me to do something. This was I think 2 years ago I did this. This was inspired by this was inspired by a book by a YouTuber slash bodybuilder slash one-legged man, Josh Sunkist, Sasquatch. His book, I love how I don't get any name right. Okay, that's fine. No one knows how to do Masonette, so you know what, we're even. But in his book, he talked about how before he met his now partner, he went to his past loves. He went to these most notable people and he interviewed them and basically asked what happened and where could he improve, which is something that not a lot of people do. You know, a lot of people, and I've talked about this before, a lot of people will, you know, victimize themselves and vilify their ex or vilify the other person who did them wrong or just like wasn't there for them or broke up with them just because it makes them look like the hero and the other person vilify them. So it's easy to detach from them. It's easy to separate from them. And also it just like sometimes it helps like put you at a higher value, but at the same time, it will kind of give you a blind spot of like where your faults are and where you can actually improve. And like usually when I go through a relationship where, you know, what happens and things break up or things don't work out, I do try to look from an outside perspective. I'm just like, okay, yes, this person has their faults. I have my faults. Where could we have both improved, or where could I have improved, or where could he have improved? You know, just to know for next time, or what to look for in a future partner, and what have you. And I've done that like a lot. And I actually last year, 2 years ago, maybe I think it was 2 years ago, after my breakup with it was after my breakup with C. And I was like, you know, thinking about just like, you know, where I want to go when it comes to looking for a new partner or looking for someone to be with, how to do it and where my faults are. And that's what inspired me to kind of go back to. I actually like I texted my exes and be like, hey yo, why I fuck up? What happened? What happened? Because like here's the thing. Here's the thing about me, which I'm not proud of this, but it's a thing to note. And I've mentioned it before a little bit, but I've never really gotten to detail. But like I'm usually the one who gets dumped. You know, you have the dumper and you have the dumpee. I'm the dumpee. Everyone took that deuce on me. They was like, oh, we don't need you anymore. Just kicked me out the car and kept driving. I'm rolling down that hill and I'm just like, it's fine. This is fine. And that's it. I got glass, got broken bones on my skin, but it's fine. Everything's going great. But yeah, I'm usually the one that's dumped. And I've said reasons why in the past. Usually it's because like, you know, again, I interviewed these people to look for faults, but usually the result is usually a result of their own insecurities or just like the fact that they couldn't give me enough or they felt like they couldn't give me what I deserved, even though if I'm with you, the only thing I want is you. If I'm with you, the only thing I want is you. I want your time, your patience, your energy, and for you to have your own life, your own personal boundaries and everything, and just like your support. That's it. Just be you and I'm good. That is all I ever need from like if I really love you, if I really care for you, I don't really require a lot. And that's the thing with me. Just like I mean, yes, I need my space. Yes, I want you to have your own space. And yes, we need time together, of course. But like other than that, I just need your support. I just need your energy and I just need to laugh with you. That's all I need. I'm very simple, but you know, sometimes other people either want more, need more, or just like they feel like because I'm very nonchalant, easy with the flow, and I'm the kind of person who I will do the most for you. Like I will be there to support your dreams, your hopes, your admirations. I will give you the validation you need. I will be there for you. Sometimes, like when you give person everything they want, they're like, I don't want it. Just like, you know, I mean, that just happens in life. So I actually went back I interviewed like each of my exes and hello, Roar Gasmus. Yes, come again. Amen. Oh, thank you. I actually went back and talked to some of my exes, like my most notable people I dated at that time. And I just kind of wanted to hear just like, what happened? Why the fuck up? Where can I get improved? Where are my areas of that I need for key improvements to put on my resume for next time? Can I use you as a reference for my next date? Thank you. And yeah, you just like I got pretty good results. Actually, I talked to Kevin. If you guys remember Kevin from way back and 12 years ago and my old YouTube videos. His thing was always, well, he couldn't really come up with an answer. And it took a while. And then he was just like, I guess if I had to say anything, it was that you you posted yourself online a lot. And that was basically it. And I'm just like, it's not a me issue. I mean, I appreciate it. But I'm like, oh yeah, because like, you know, I do post things online because that's like I'm an online person. Like, you know, I YouTube online, I make content online. Like, I'm gonna be online. I'm gonna be on the internet. So if I do date somebody in the future, it has to be someone who is either does the same or comfortable with me being on the internet. You know, just like I modeled at that time. So it's like I will model the photos will go up there. Sounds like Kevin. You know Kevin. Yeah. You know, it's just like, you know, I need someone to be comfortable. And at that time, he had at that time a lot of insecurities, and that was an issue that we did have in our relationship. Like his insecurities, because like he would get jealous of like just like, you know, things that I would do or say or what have you, or the attention I would get. So that ended up being a key issue. So I understand that. And I do take that into consideration every time I date someone now. That's why I don't bring my partners on any platform or mention them, because I'm like, all right, we're gonna keep this private for me and private for us, because like the internet's a scary place sometimes, and people are mean out there. Why y'all be mean? Why y'all harass that boy? That poor boy. He's doing great now. Just like if you see his work now, like his he's moved to LA. He's doing a phenomenal painter. I want to buy one of his paintings. Like when I get a new place, because right now I live in like a little. I don't know I don't know what the decor is. It's like rustic fucking weeb fucking pop art bullshit. That's me. I don't know. I need a whole new life. I have Christmas lights up there. Like what is this, the 2000s? Am I Hillary Duff? Did my papa pass away and I now live with freaking, oh, this cookie's so good. Like, nah. I need to update. I'm like, my brain's stuck in the 2000s. I'm sorry. Like it's always 2008 in my head on repeat. And then I actually talked to my second boyfriend. His name, D. Yeah, I've talked about him before. D. I love him. He sucks, but I love him. And he was the one saying, just like, listen, you do not have to improve anything. Listen, bitch, you are fine the way you are. You're perfect. Do not put yourself down to try to find validation. Like, he gave me this whole thing because I just asked him, so, like, you know, what could I have improved on? And he's just like, he like tore into me, just like, you should never put yourself down, blah, blah. You are literally perfect, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay, thank you, I guess. It's like, you know, again, he also had like a lot of insecurities for himself. And again, like I said before, like he always felt like he had to be the best of. So like, you know, I just do me because I just like how I am. And just like he always like had to feel like he had the one up. And that was like our thing. Another person I dated who lived in Texas said, I love dating these people who live far away. Kevin lived in Massachusetts. D lived 45 minutes away from me. This guy in Texas lived in Texas. I'm like, I can't date a boy who lived like 5 minutes away. That's impossible. Like, no, absolutely not. And he basically was just saying same thing, just like, again, because he has his own insecurities as well too. Just like, you know, I post myself online a lot. I'm like, I don't know what you want from me. It was part of my job, you know. And now it's like it's something I do for fun, and that's actually one of the reasons why I took so long to actually post selfies. Because like if you look back, like way back when, I only posted like my modeling pictures, things for modeling, things for advertisements, or like things to like promote my photography specifically, or just like my like promos or anything, my videos. So like I did these for promotion, you know. I would do like underwear ads, like what have you. I worked with Skull and Bones a lot. I still love them. They're really good. They changed management, so that's why I don't really do stuff for them anymore. I did stuff for Steve Grant, obviously, but like I didn't really post selfies. Like selfies and like just me in a mirror, or like me in like I never posted a selfie, you know, just like really just like, you know, showing me off like as me, not just like as the model Andrew, but as me. And I recently started doing that, like maybe about like 2 years ago. Yeah, because I'm just like, I'm always so self-conscious now. Well, I was, just because I always dated people who always had a problem with me posting online, or saying like me being online was just like a issue or a problem. And I always had to conform myself. Like when I start dating these people, I don't post myself a lot. I didn't post myself. I didn't put myself out there. I didn't, because I felt like I was betraying them, you know? And then that kind of got instilled with me. So now I'm just like, I'm going to do this because I want to. And that's why I've been posting, like, you can see my feed right now on Twitter. I got nonstop selfies. You know, I'm just like, I have selfies, I have pictures. I think I look good. I think I look great. I want to post myself. I like how I look. So I'm just like, I'm going to post it without people telling me that it's, you know, wrong or something I shouldn't do, because like I had to do that for so long. And it just like it feels good. It just feels good, you know. Just actually doing something for myself, something small like that. It feels good. Um, because it's hard to always like date people where you always have to take them into consideration over yourself. Just because like you kind of start losing parts of yourself, or you start feeling insecure about the things that you used to feel secure in. You know, there's nothing wrong with the pictures I posted or anything, and the people that have a issue with it aren't the people I'm supposed to be with or date. And that was mostly like the issues that people did say that I've talked to. Me and C are still very close. Just like there's not really any issues between us. And Crazy Cookie says finding people who live close is hard. Yo, someone posted on Twitter. Someone posted on Twitter just like, do you think your soulmate lives in the same city as you? I'm like, I've dated people in different. The people I've been the most romantically connected, the most notable romantic love interest in my life have lived in different states and have lived in a different country. Ain't no way the person who I'm going to be with forever is in the same state as me. The same state, the same city, down this. Absolutely not. It's not happening. It's not no. They're gonna be at the minimum an hour and a half away. The minimum an hour and a half away, but they are being hours. There are drives. They are in different states. We're gonna have to go camping. That's it. I'm gonna get an RV. That's it. Just like, you know, I'm gonna go back and forth to your house to my house. That's it. That's how we're gonna live. Absolutely. Crazy Cookie also says you start to feel like you're being absorbed by the other person. Yeah, that does happen. When I was in these relationships, especially early on, when I was trying to kind of like find myself. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm trying to find myself. Just because like when you're young, especially back then, because like back then I was insecure. I was still developing a personality because like, again, narcissistic household. I was still like finding out who I am. I mean, there's things about my sexuality I just learned recently. So like, like there was still a lot of like learning I had to do, and a lot of like coming up I had to do. But I was just like so horny, especially when I was younger. I was so horny for a relationship because like when I was in high school, I'm like, oh, I guess I'll never find love here, but who knows? I mean, no one ever asked me to prom or anything. I'm just different from everyone. But the difference was like I just like those. I was just like, I want to suck a penis. So that was the real difference. But when I was in college, I'm just like, this is it. I'm gonna find love. This is it for me. And I'm just like, I conform myself to try to like fit into like this gay mold of just like what I thought a gay person was. So if I met a gay person who was like attractive enough, I'm just like, I love him. I like him. We're going to make it work. That's going to be the father of my children. Oh, I can't wait for us to be together. I didn't have any concept of tops, bottoms, sex. It was just that that person was gay and attractive enough. I'm just like, you know what? You coming home with me today. So I was like had crushes that I don't even really consider crushes anymore. Cause I'm like, I didn't like them. Like looking back at it, I'm like, I didn't like them. I was just lonely. And that's I didn't hook up with anyone back in college really, like not until like my junior year before I met Kevin. And that's when I was introduced to hooking up, because I thought I was dumb. I thought if you kiss somebody, if you were just like doing stuff with someone, I'm just like, we're gonna be in love now. Because like I didn't fucking know. I'd never been in a relationship. I knew no one gay before. I'm just like, this happens. We're gonna be in love. This is it. And then I quickly learned like, nope, that's not the case. This ain't love. Nope. Nope. I snapped out of that real quick. I'm just like, oh no, I don't want this. This is not it. And it was until I met Kevin on Tumblr, because like I said before, look, if I'm gonna fall in love with anyone, it's gonna be a stranger I meet on the internet. I'm gonna do the exact opposite my mom said me not to do. She's like, don't go on those websites. Nah, you're gonna end up kidnapping a white van and looking for puppies. They ain't gonna be no puppy. Absolutely not. They tell you wear a blindfold and lick a lollipop. It's not gonna be no lollipop. I'm just like, I don't need no blindfold. I drove to his house and did it for free. Yeah, I wasn't until then when I actually like had the concept of like love and just like what that actually meant and just like a relationship. You know, we were still figuring things out because it was our first relationships and we were like children, you know. But yeah, it just like it took a while. And I didn't get into dating until like actual dating until after me and Kevin broke up. And then I spent about a year figuring things out. I got accidentally stuck in the hookup culture because like again, I'm like demisexual, which plays into it. So like I hooked up with people because they made the move and I was like, okay. I thought that was just a thing. I thought this is just what happens. Like, all right, well, let me pull my legs up. Like, it's not like I wanted to. I'm not saying like just like everyone was forceful or it was against my will, but like, you know, I didn't necessarily want to do it, but I was just like, okay. Okay, sure. He's nice to me. Okay, that's all I'll talk. Like, oh, he's nice to me and he's here. So, okay. So like half my number is from like when I was just like young and stupid was literally just like me being like, he's nice, I guess. Sure. But honestly, I didn't really date that many people. I still haven't really dated that many people. And again, I've talked about this before. When I talked about how we have to nix the idea of situationships because that idea is stupid. That word is dumb, and we need to get rid of it because it's ruining dating and ruining relationships in general. Because like people are just like so like hung up on the term situationship because like either A, they don't want to deem dating someone as a failure or a talking stage as a failure. So that they're just like, oh, we were in a situationship. So like we were talking and going on dates and, you know, everything like a relationship, but like we were in a situationship. So like, I can't believe he broke my heart because like we were in a situationship. I thought it was going to be real and it was not. Like, look, you guys were dating. That's it. Just leave it at that. You guys were dating. That's it. Because as I said before, you guys are either friends, talking, dating, fucking, or you're in a relationship. That is it. One of these things. No blurry in between situationship. No, you guys were dating. That's it. I don't care what the other person says because the other person will also just call a situationship just because they don't want to label it as something official because dating sounds so formal. Dating sounds too real. I'm like, no, you went on dates. You were dating. That is literally it. That is the term. You went on dates. You are dating. That is it. There's nothing more to that. Okay. It's not a relationship. There's no label. There's nothing to it. And also, spoiler alert, dating does not have to lead to a relationship because you can date somebody and just like to date, or you can date somebody and it not work out, or you can date somebody and that person dies. You know, it's fine. These things happen. And then you call it what it is. You guys were dating and now you guys don't date anymore. That's it. This term situationship makes everything so blurry. I mean, because like in that case, like anyone I've dated in the past was just like half the people I dated were situationships. So I'm like, no, we dated. We don't date anymore. The end. Like that's just how it is. But like I think altogether I've been with like I think I've actively dated maybe 5 people. I think so. I like actively dated, like as in we went on consistent dates. Not like we went on one date and then that was it. Like we went on consistent dates to try to make things work, and things just didn't. Either through circumstances or you know one of us were just not feeling it. And that 51st dates. I have not even been on 50. I have not been on 50. I've not been on dates a lot, and I've only been in 3.5 relationships because my last, like the last partner who I was obsessed with, you guys remember from any episode, literally pick one. It was that just like, you know, he wanted to wait till we were like, we could actually be in the same environment to officially call it a relationship, but like we were dating. So like, I'm just gonna say we were in a relationship. I don't know what you will call it, but like, I mean, we were dating, we were talking, we said I love you, like that was a whole thing. Like we still even after the relationship ended, we were still like, still like figuring out ourselves and what we are to each other. So I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna say you were my ex. You were my ex-boyfriend. I think that's safe. I think that's safe at this point. So yeah, the whole point of this podcast, because like again, I'm a romantic, but I want to talk about like the best and worst dates that I've had. But before I get into my best and worst dates, I want to talk about these because I let people do prompts and just like actually be able to submit their stories of their best and worst dates, because I love hearing date stories. I love hearing about romance. I love hearing about love. I love I love love, and I just love hearing the story. And also I love hearing about other people. As much as I talk about myself, my own experience, yeah, I do it because it's the show. This is a thing I do for the show. But I love listening to people. I love learning new things. I love hearing the other person. Like, I love when another person is involved and I get to hear more about them and learn about them. Because I love people, and that really ties into it. But some of y'all bitches, I literally gave you the platform. I gave you the floor. And you turned this into fucking a variety hour of let's ask Andrew anonymous questions. Like, that's not the prompt. I was just like, hey, tell me about your best and worst dates I want to read on the podcast. I got, who is the friend that's always there for you? What am I going to do with that? Who, did you date your friend? Did I date this friend? I don't, okay. Oh, there's just like, okay, then, tell me about your best and worst dates. I love your style. Thank you. Did we date? Was I wearing something good? I gave you the floor. I gave you the platform. So I'm going to skip all these. I'm going to go straight to like the actual, because one person even says, we had class together but you don't remember me. Who are you? I don't know you now. Okay. So I'm just going to look through to the people who actually talked about their dates and dating experience. And here's one. Cool. Awesome. Jesus. I'm just like, guys, I give you one assignment. And you fail miserably. Like, when I don't want to make things about myself, which oftentimes I don't. I do, again, for the show, because like other than that, otherwise I wouldn't have content. We wouldn't have a show. But like, I love talking about other people. So this one is anonymous confession. So all these are completely anonymous. So I don't know who submitted what. But it sounds like chat and Grindr. Yeah, I know. The Grindr's a whole mess. You know what's fun? Actually, I met like really cool people on there. Because I did re-download it, not for sex or anything. I'm just to see what's out there. But like, and I keep telling people like I'm just seeing what's out there, and then they block me. But I did meet some really cool people. One really cool guy. I'm just like, oh, he's awesome. Not like romantic or anything. He's married. He's just like looking for friends. I'm like, oh my god, same. And we like talk about cosplay and shit. I'm like, love him. He's amazing. Some other people I met as well too. Just like cool people to talk to. I'm like, oh, you guys get me. I just need I need to go on Discord servers at this point. I'm just like, I just want to talk to people. That's all I want to do. That's it. All right. So this one comes from Anonymous. I remember I went on a date with this guy from my high school, and he was talking about how depressing being 29 was and how sad he was about turning 30. The entire time he gave me existential dread about how bleak the future was. He got mustard on his shirt. I ignored it the whole time. Oh, I love this. Oh, that's that sucks. Talk about how depressing. Because like, here's the thing. I don't know why people always think like life ends at 30. Like, no, it doesn't. Because here's the thing. You don't start living until you're like 25, 26. That's when you actually start living. So like 30 is like when you're actually in your life. Because like, the first 18 years of your life, you're in high school, you're in grade school. That's not life. Like, of course, things happen. Traumatic things can happen. I'm not like downplaying anyone's experience, but you're a fucking kid. You have no responsibilities. You just kind of hang out. You do your own thing. I'm talking in general, not like specific situations. And also, I'm talking about America right now, because like, look, over the world, people have to become adults way younger. It really depends. But I'm talking about the American experience, the Western world dream. Y'all just kids. Y'all not living your life. Y'all have emotions. Y'all have feelings. Y'all not really experiencing anything that's actually like real or holds like longevity for the most part. Like, yeah, situations can be big. Yeah, things can happen. But like for the most part, No, you don't really start living until you're on your own and doing your own thing, becoming your own person and know who you are. You don't really know who you are until like later in life, you know? Your 20s is your chance to kind of experience life and kind of find out who you are. And then you kind of know where you are and where you want to be in your 30s. So 30s is like the start of your life. Because that first 18 to 22 years, you're just kind of like figuring shit out. And then you spend your 20s still figuring shit out. And then by your 30s, you kind of have an idea of the shit you should know. So yeah, I guess like 30s are great. I think 30s are actually the best years of my life. Even looking back at it now, yes, I've like incredible times with my friends. I've met incredible people when I was a teenager and in my 20s, and just like, that had different experiences. But my 30s are like really when I came into my own, knew who I was, really loved myself, and just like really just like knew exactly what I wanted in life. And I'm like, I don't want to go back. Like 30s is great for me. So I'm sorry that people feel that way about 30s, but like, look, if anyone's feeling bad about being 30, I hate to break it to you, but you, on average, you have like 50 more years, 50, 60 more years after that. So I'd say suck it up. Because like 30 is not old. You have a while. You have half a century left. So think of it that way. You're not dead yet. I clap my hands when the plane lands. That's not a confession. That's not date. Did you fly your day? Why did people fuck with me on this? Okay. Let's see. That was the 31. Let's go. Oh, no. I hate all notifications popping up right now. Okay, cool. Got it. My best date was my best date was when I went on a walk on Pinnacle Mountain and we walked the Big Dam Bridge in Little Rock, AR. Sadly, he went on a date with someone else instead. Oh my God. It started off so romantic. I'm just like, my best date was when I went on a walk with him, Pinnacle Mountain, and we walked the bridge. I'm like, that sounds romantic. That sounds sweet. I love things like that. Like small, little, intimate kind of dates like that. It's really sweet. And then he went on a date with someone else instead. I'm like, I want to know more details. Look, anonymous, please come off anonymous and tell me. I'm like, what? I'm sorry. You're the best. Thank you. That's not okay, whatever. Let's talk more, please. Long story short, here we go. Here's one. Long story short, it was a grinder hookup and the guy wanted to do not pot pipe things. And I was like, no, thank you. And then after making him a mother, he said, don't pull out, and wanted me to pee whilst inside him. I'm sure if it's bad or good. I'm not sure if it's a bad or good date, but there you go. I have a question. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I've heard, there are stories where people found actual love on Grindr. They found the love of their life. They found romance on Grindr. This ain't it. This was not it. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Cool. Anyway, we're gonna move on. All right, best date. Best date, a picnic that turned into something else. Worst date, ghosted at a sandwich shop, and he suggested the date. I texted him to see where he was, and the text was blocked. Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry to hear. That actually reminds me of which I have to maybe one day I'll confirm this with E, and then again this is an E story. Hold on. Raw. I'm just gonna call you Raw. I don't want to read. Damn, not gonna lie. I don't think anyone read the assignment. They didn't, because like I've only read 3 of these stories. There's like 20 submissions. None of them are about the best and worst dates. I'm like, cool, awesome, love that for me. I'm like, great. So E and I, it's just like that boy. Like, again, he's beautiful, emotionally mature, and everything, but sometimes that boy just do things without thinking it through. So okay, so there was a time where this was after we broke up and everything, and we're still like on like talking terms, even though we should have probably, like, as I've asked for when we originally broke up, we should have been on like no contact. and he was telling me how he was meeting up with a friend, and the friend like blocked him, and he wanted to see if I could see him. Or like, he had no idea because he was trying to message him and he was not getting a response. And I'm just like, okay, well, let me find out, blah, blah. And I was just like, going to look into it. He's like, yeah, because like he was supposed to meet me at this place. And like, I'm not sure. I'm just like, okay, let me see what I can do. Let me see if I can find someone. Because I do have a friend who can track people. I'm just like, all right, maybe I'll get in contact with him. He's like, all right, thank you so much. And I thought about it. I'm just like, hold up. Is this person that who he was supposed to meet up with, is it a friend, or was he going on a date? Did he text his ex-boyfriend to look up the person that he's now dating? I'm like, I hope that's not the case, because that does sound like something he would do. But not thinking about it unconsciously, because like at that point I was like someone he came for support, and I'm like, if this boy texts me to look up his new man, I'm like, I hope that's not the case. If it is, I'm gonna I'm gonna fight him anyway. So yeah, that's basically it. And then and of course the last fucking submission, which I thought was going to be a thing. Are you seeing anyone right now? Are you single? Bitch, what's your favorite song? These questions are not okay. We're done. We're done with this. Okay. I literally give you the floor. You all failed miserably. Okay. So anyway, dates are sometimes not the easiest thing in the world. Again, like when I talked about this last episode, when I go on dates, I like to actually, I treat them like job interviews, because like, it's for something that you want long term, something you want to see longevity with. For me, like first impressions do mean something, so like when I date somebody, I'm just like, all right, well, let me see if we're compatible, let's see what works, let's see what, if this can go somewhere, let's see if you can match my humor, let's see if we can match my chemistry. Because for me, I want an equal, I don't want to date like an exact clone, but I want to date somebody who has an equal amount of energy, the equal amount of like, the space, the zaniness, like they can actually go off on like my jokes and everything. Like, sometimes I like, obviously, like, yes, I am more controlled when I have to be, like, like on this podcast, I'm not like as animated as I normally am, because I'm talking about real shit. But like, if you go to like any of my streams or anything, or just like any of my sketches, I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's me wearing that wig, popping that thing, bursting them titties out. I'm like, yeah, that's me. That's the real me. But yeah, I mean, there's times where I've been on like really good dates, really phenomenal people and really awesome people. And then there's days where like, this is fucking hell. It's really bad. I think I'm gonna talk about my best dates last, but we'll talk about my worst ones because they're funny. All right, so one of my worst dates. Well, actually, I'm gonna talk about my 3 worst dates. And it'll go in order from like best worst to like worst. And it's funny how the worst ends. All right, so the best worst date I ever been on was with this guy. We met on like Facebook dating, which that's a thing. Like Facebook dating. Yeah, Facebook is just like, let's get in on that dating app. Which, by the way, I'm not gonna lie, shit's kind of good. Look, I've been on a lot of dating apps and like swiped around a bunch. I'm just like, I kind of like Facebook dating because like I'm just like, I don't know, everyone's just cuter there. I don't know. I think like if I have to like basic thing on aesthetic attraction or aesthetic attractiveness, Facebook dating got some cuties up in there. And then you have Hinge also as well too. And then like, bottom barrel is Tinder. I'm sorry, because you're gonna get a look, and I'm not saying this about anyone's race or any like if there's a problem, but I will make the statement though. There's a lot of whites on Tinder. I'm sorry, like it's just, which I don't have a problem with. Obviously, like half the people not half, but like a good percentage of people I dated were Caucasian, but like I don't want just one thing. Like I'm just like where's the diversity? Where's the diversity? Netflix, write a Tinder movie because like we need some diversity in this bitch. I know y'all at the Tinder, y'all at the Netflix like to just add diversity, add it to Tinder because we need it. Jesus, it just, especially in New York, I'm just like, this is silly. Why are you all the same person, different font? Crazy. But Yeah, I met on Facebook dating, and then we went out to this place. It was like this Filipino. No, I lied. It was a Korean spot, which I love. You know me. You get me on Asian food, I'm like, I mean, maybe I'll show up. I don't know, because like sometimes I just look. Sometimes I'll go agree to a date just for the food. I mean, not just like just for the food, but like just for the food. Like either you give me a spot with a good place, good menu. I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll show up. All right, cool. Let's do something. So he invites me to this place and everything. It's great. Good looking guy and everything. So we go there, we sit down, we eat. I'm like, what have you? And then he gives me the menu and she's like, oh yeah, just order this and this and this. I'm just like, oh, he's treating me. Okay. I was expecting this. I thought I was gonna have to pay. So like, he gives me the menu, tells me what to order. I'm just like, oh, you know what? That's great. I'm gonna order that and that and that. He's like, that's perfect. Great. Awesome. And then we're talking and everything, shooting the shit, and just like it's going like, normal. Nothing like wow, but like, like, okay, this is a person that exists. He's cool. And then the bill comes and he's just like, okay, do you want to split? I'm like, pardon? Excuse me. He was just like, oh yeah, we'll split it down the middle. I'm like, sir, you handed me the menu and told me to order what I would like. So you implied that you're paying. Sir, if it was up to me, I would have got like 2 things. We ordered a whole tasting plate. Sir, it was like $100 each. Sir, I wasn't planning this. Why? Why? Normally I do pay for my own food. I do normally pay for my own food. I don't want to sound like I just like I like I date people for food and then, have them pay. No, we'll go to a restaurant I like or food I want to try, and then we'll split. But I normally without the implication that you're going to pay for me, like I will know what I order. Like y'all have you oof. I'm like, my wallet. No. I'm like, okay. And then we went out to get a drink afterwards, and this is when things took a turn. Actually, towards the end of dinner as well too. I was like, I'm noticing something. So, he was asking more about just like where I'm from and everything. I was like, oh, I'm from here. But he's like, oh, but where are you really from? I'm just like, here. He's like, oh, I mean, what are you? I'm like, oh, I'm half Puerto Rican, half Native American. He's like, I knew it. Just like I knew it. I knew you're Latino. I could see it on you. I'm like, it's not hidden. Okay, sure. So I was just like, okay, cool. Yeah. Ha ha ha. I was just like, yeah, because he was I'll reveal his ethnicity later. But like and then he was just like, oh my God. So do you like it when people call you Papi? I'm like, I don't speak Spanish. And my Spanish is very limited. So no, I don't normally go by Papi. He's like, oh my God, because like every time I'm with a Spanish guy, he always like loves when I call him Papi. I don't know, it's just so spicy. I'm just like, mm-hmm. All right. Cool. And then like we went out to get the drink. And he's just like, oh, do you like dogs and everything? I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm like, oh, I love dogs. He's like, oh, let me guess. Like, oh, because I told him I had a dog before, and he's like, let me guess, a Chihuahua. I'm like, this bitch called me fucking Taco Bell. I'm just like, I cannot. I was like, no, actually, a half lab, half pit mix. Her name was Chili. It's like, oh well. Just like I know, like I know Spanish people like love to usually get little dogs, which is true. But how dare you say this to you, man? And I realized there's like, is this man fetishizing me? Does this man date me for a fetish? You went out with the most not Hispanic Latino for a fetish. Like, sir, no. And I'm just like, oh no. And it was just weird because I was like, sir, you're Asian. He was Filipino. I'm like, how? Why? Normally you're fetishized. You're people, but to me, I was astonished. I was astonished and taken aback. And I was like, all right, so it wasn't a good date. After I was like, no. And then we did go back to his place, and I was just like, all right, he's trying, sure. And I was so turned off. I'm sorry, everything wasn't working. And I'm just like, I know I should just go. Like front, back, nothing. It was just like sealed doors, tornado shelter, dungeon. It was like, there's nothing getting through. I was like, nope, absolutely. I'm going home. I was like, at least maybe we could just, whatever. But my body was just like, girl, run. I was like, yeah, you're right. So that was like, that was one of the best worst dates I had. Another date, which was like, it's simple. This one was very simple, but we went to like this food place. I think it was again, it was Asian food. I think it was a Japanese restaurant. And it was close by, right in the middle of us. And he didn't live that far. So I'm like, okay, that's great. Someone who doesn't live a ridiculous amount away. Different for me. And then we talked and everything. He was cool until he just put out Pokemon Go and started playing Pokemon Go like the whole time. And I'm like trying to talk to him. He's just on his phone playing Pokemon Go. And then he was talking about the game and I was trying to say something and he kept cutting me off. And I'm like, okay, we're on a date. And it's just like still playing Pokemon Go. I'm like, okay. And after a while, I just stopped talking. I'm just like, let me just eat my food. It was silent. And I'm just like, so you want to leave? He's like, oh yeah, let's go. And I was like, cool. And I drove him home because I was on my way anyway because I was meeting up with some friends. And then he was just like, so yeah, so am I seeing you again? I was like, I mean, I gotta go. We'll talk about it later. No. He was like, okay. And like looking at me like, because I hate when gay guys do this. Because gay guys will do this. They'll try to force a moment. Because this happened before, like when I was like, at a guy's house just hanging out. And then he just looks at me like this. And I'm just like, what are you looking at? He's like, what? He's like, what? What? He's like, what? And then he goes in to like kiss me and I'm like, oh, that's what you're implying. Like, stop trying to force a moment. It's either happening or it's not. I don't like it's like I feel like these romantic movies, like everyone just like input it in their head, like that's how things happen. I'm like, no. Like you either feel it with someone or you don't. And you don't make it this awkward spectacle and make it bigger than it is, because then you set yourself for failure. Because like when you do that, and then things happen and it doesn't go to your expectation, it's not as good as you want it to be. And I'm just like, guys, you either feel it or you don't. It's that simple. You either feel it or you don't, or the other person feels it or you don't. And you know what? Here's the crazy thing. If you want to kiss somebody, just ask them. I know it sounds stupid. I know you're probably embarrassed to ask, but just ask them. Like, hey, can I kiss you? It's either yes or no. That's it. I would rather someone ask me than create these fake fucking scenarios where it's like hanging out, shooting the shit, and then all of a sudden you're looking at me like I'm just like, oh, this is the moment. This is the move. I'm just like, it's not the moment. I didn't imply anything. I'm hanging out. We're watching Space Jam. I'm watching Bugs Bunny. Like, I don't. What's happening? I don't get it. So yeah, that guy's trying to make a move, and then I'm just like, I gotta leave. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he leaves my car. I'm like, and we will never see each other again. We ended up hooking up with him eventually. And then that was it. It was like, okay, well, that's cool. But I think the worst date I've ever been on, and it's funny. It's really funny. The worst date I ever been on was this hike. And I took this person to Bear Mountain, and this person never been before. We had to go early because, like, just like best to go there before like people show up. Because like it was the summer and it was like during the pandemic. So like, everyone's using that as an excuse to go outside. So I take him to that. I take him over there and it starts off fine. But then he talks about like, when, an issue he's having like one of his best friends, and that takes up the entire conversation. I'm trying to like talk to him, but he's like overriding with just that. And then he's just like, oh, hold up. Let me call him real quick. Mind you, that ride is like an hour away to like that mountain and from like where I'm at. And he's just on the phone with that person for a long time. And I'm like, I guess I'm just an Uber now. Cool. Like we were just talking. We were just starting to date. We didn't know each other yet. We were trying to learn each other. And no, he was just on that phone with his best friend for a long time. I'm like, okay, cool. And then we finally get to the parking lot. I'm like, okay, well, we can talk because like he hung up the phone and there was no service. I'm like, great. And then he got into like politics because then how like politics at that time. I'm just like, I mean, cool, but like, can I know what your favorite like ice cream is? Can I know things about you? Do you like sports? What's your favorite country to travel to? Do you like to travel? Let's talk about that. No, political uproar and politics, and I'm just like, oh, okay. Also, our beliefs were not entirely, related. Some opposed, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a thing, huh? Cool. So that was a thing, and then all right, so we get to the mountain, And like I have this book bag carrying, mind you, waters, like everything in it, and he's just free balling it. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And so I have like this book bag. I'm going at a leisurely pace because it's a pretty steep mountain, and that boy is like sprinting up there. He is doing that long walk, them long strides. Like I'm like here, and he's like here, and I'm like, this is like a date. We're supposed to like talk, converse, like be together. He's like going past me and stuff, and he passed a group of people, so just like, yeah, just like he's taking his time down there, and I'm just like, I'm taking my time carrying our supplies. Okay, cool. I guess I'm just gonna take my time now. And then we get to the top eventually, and I'm just like, this is already health. That's great. So we get to the top, great view and everything. He decides to smoke because he likes the marijuana. And then I at some point my glasses dropped and they fell off, and I'm just like, oh god, I gotta find my glasses. Like, we can double back on our way back down to take a look for them. And I'm like looking around like as I'm going down the mountain just to see where my glasses are because I couldn't see, and I had to drive home. And I was like, I couldn't see. I couldn't see. And they're just like I'm getting halfway down the mountain. He's like, yeah, I didn't even look. Sorry. I'm just like, I'm too high. I'm like, thank you for being there for me when I needed you the most. Cool. So I drove home with like, mind you, my glasses aren't that needed for a drive. I just would rather see in HD, rather than just like, fucking a little blurry. So, all right. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm driving and he says something about, no. Yeah, he says something about like someone I liked, and it's like it was just like stupid and kind of offensive. I'm like, okay, he was already pushing my last nerve. And then we make a pit stop at the gas station because he dropped one of his things for his his vape. Because like he vapes his weed. And then it was like one of his filters. And then he like tries to look for it. I'm just like, all right, well, let me see if I find it. And he couldn't find it. And like it was somewhere in my car. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't find it. He's like, gee, yeah, because like, look, can you stop saying sorry for everything? Because you always say sorry. Like he was like pissed off at me. Like he was just like came off just like rude. And I'm like, I can't do this. Like that was the worst date. It's like everything terrible. He was the worst guy. And I had to explain to him several things because like this person, mind you, has not had, in for obvious reasons, has not had a long-term romantic relationship, has not lasted that long with another person, has not experienced know what to do. I had to explain to him that, hey, when we were coming down the mountain, it's like the point of this trip was so we can get to know each other. We can actually get to know each other. We can actually talk. We can converse. Because when you have a significant other, they want to spend a significant amount of time with you. They want to feel special. They want to feel significant. That is the point of the name. And he was like, oh, yeah, well, I didn't know that. I'm just like... So I basically had to like teach him the fundamentals of what goes into a relationship. Or like what goes into talking to somebody, because mind you, we've been on like a couple of dates at that point, so like it's like a thing. So I was just so annoyed, and I just didn't talk the whole way back. I was just like going to drive him home, and he's like, "Oh, you okay?" I'm like, "It's fine. I'm just dropping you off." He's like, "Oh, okay." And that was it. I'm just like, I don't, and I just went home. I'm like, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I could do this anymore. And I ended up giving him space. You're a saint. I can't. Yeah. You're gonna love this next part. I was just like, look, I need space. Like this like a day later or anything, like a couple days. I was just dead ass. I'm just ready to get a dog. Oh no, it gets better. I told him, I was like, look, I just need space, and everything. Because like again, we went on a couple of dates at this point. We were talking for a while, and it was also during COVID. So like COVID times are dating, and COVID is different because like you make a lot of more exceptions than you normally would. It's crazy. I'm like, because like normal me would have been out the minute that shit happened. But instead, I told him we need to take a break. I just need time. Blah blah blah. We eventually talked about everything afterwards, and then we dated for 2 years. Because this person was C, who is my best friend now. Again, um, there's a lot of exceptions to things. The reason we did look is just that, and mind you, we weren't even physical at that point. Like it took us a long time before we even got physical, together or anything. Because that's a whole different story, which I don't think I'm going to share on here, but because like due to privacy and everything. But yeah, that was safe. So we dated for 2 years. And the thing with him is that he has certain conditions neurologically, that does hold him up or put him on pause from certain things. And I had to understand that and had to learn that and had to learn how to teach myself to deal with certain things and certain responses and certain triggers and everything. So like it was a lot of, again, there was a lot of like going around the woodwork. Do I regret the relationship? Absolutely not. I think it was a great relationship and like a really person I really value a lot more. I think we work best now. Not because like it's more just it's like, he's more than a friend, obviously. Like, we loved each other for like a long time. But like, without that obligation to like a romantic involvement, we're like, I had a feeling you was smiling a lot during the story. I know, because it's funny. I'm just like, you were the worst date, and we dated for 2 years. That's insane. But yeah, it's just like he's a great person, but just like I don't regret the experience. But like you learn a lot, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself in that relationship. That's actually the relationship that I learned where one, I'm a non-monogamous person, so like I don't think the future of this relationship, unless we open things up, is gonna work. Two, well, that's why I started. I didn't really realize I was really non-monogamous until after E. Like I was kind of like figuring, I was like, because I was just like, I know I don't want a traditional relationship in the future. That's all I know is like, I do not want a traditional relationship. That's why with E, it was very easy to go to an open relationship because like I was just like, this just works better. Also, we don't live in the same country. We both like sex. So let's change that. So, yeah, he was, it's funny because I did rank my, I was bored one day and I was like talking to my best friend Tiana. I was just saying how like I should just rank my exes just out of fun, just because it's good content, and I did. Actually, he's like in the middle. He gets like I think he got like a B minus. I think I have it. Do I have that ranking? I think I think I got like a B minus. Let's see. Yeah, he got a B minus. He got a B. He got a solid B. Oh, because overall, got a B. I'm like, okay, first date was treacherous. You know what? Actually, I might put him at a B minus. I might put him at a B minus. Okay. That brings him down to let's see, out of all my significant partners, that brings him down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He was the fifth. Good, not a bad place. B minus is good. He's only behind 4 other people. But after I also graded after relationships, he gets A plus. He is the best person I've dated after. I mean, been involved with after a relationship ended. So I'm like, good for him. He grew. He grew. Good for him. So yeah, those were my worst dates. I absolutely would never relive them. If I had to, I wouldn't. I would die. I would push myself out that mountain, man. I was like, that would not happen. It's funny because like I look back at these past relationships and everything now, when I was younger and everything, or just like because of circumstances. I'm like, me, Andrew Masonette now, present day, would never even give time to any of these things. I would nope. But on the same note, I'm going to talk about some of my best dates. I'm going to talk about 3 of my best dates, and one technicality. But honestly, my best dates overall have all been from, I'm trying to like think this out. Yeah, they've all been from the same person. As much as I talk shit about this person, because after a relationship, they were the worst. They took advantage of my feelings. They are the king of breadcrumbing. They just show up and leave. They make false promises and false things they can't keep up with. They keep saying they want to hang out just to hang out, and just like day of comes, that boy is missing. But we're talking about D because during the relationship, he was the best boyfriend. I kid you not. He's like, I think second out of all the people I dated. Yeah. Second, he is the best boy. He's the second best boyfriend I've ever had. He's the first love of my life. He's the first person I've ever been in love with. Like first guy I've ever been truly in love with. But yeah, our dates were incredible. Like each one of our dates were incredible. They were simple. They were small things, and they were just perfect because like our chemistry was perfect, our energy matched, our humor matched. We had the same sexual energy together. Like everything was great. I think our best date that we ever had was our first date, and that was after a month of going back and forth. We were supposed to meet up, but he kept having things and obligations and blah, blah, blah plans. So like, whatever. And then like, after we were talking for a while, I remember we were FaceTiming and he was just like, hey, yo, show me that hole. I'm just like, sir, ma'am, what? I was shocked and appalled. I'm like, oh, I've never in all my days have been asked such blasphemy. He was just straight up to, we were having a normal conversation. We were talking about Game of Thrones. And then he was just like, yo, show me that hole. I'm like, what's happening? I don't know you, mister. Mind you, this is before we met up either. So I'm like, what? I've never, and at that point, because again, mind you, I was only like 24 when we started dating. And I only really dated one person before that. And, you know, like, I didn't really do things like that. So I'm like, okay. So at that point I thought like, this is just going to be a fling, you know, he's going to be it's not going to be real. We're probably never even going to meet up, whatever. Cause he kept stalling a meeting up, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, cool. It's not going to happen. So I go to work one day and he just texts me just like, hey, sorry, I haven't really met up. A lot of things were happening, but can I see you today? And I'm like, sorry, I'm at work. No. And at that time, I didn't have a car either. So I'm just like, and I don't even have a car right now. So I can't like, I was sharing a car with my mom. I was just like, so I can't meet up with you. And he was just like, no, it's fine. I'll drive you home. You know, I could do that for you. I'm like, I mean, okay, if you want to, if you want to pick me up, you can. Like, I'm not going to give you nothing, but if you want to, you can. Like, I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying you should, but if you do, okay. So, and I never saw this person in person yet. I never met him in person. He met up at my job, so it was a public place. I'm like, great, cool. Because we FaceTime. I'm like, you know, whatever. Because here's the thing, he super liked me on Tinder. This time we met, and the minute I saw him, I was like, yo, this man. And mind you, I don't feel that way for a lot of people. I don't. It's very like I could be like, okay, this person's attractive, this person's cool, this person's attractive, this person I'm not into, you know, what have you. But I'm never just like, I never see if it's very rare that I see someone I'm just like, damn, him. Ovaries exploded, goo everywhere, titties out. I was just like, oh, this is a man. This is a man. Okay, this is a whole man. Let me Italian. Let me get in that sausage. Let me get that gabagoo. I'm gonna see what that gabagoo do. So I was like, okay, whatever. Let's just see if I liked him. And then he came up to my job right when I was getting off shift. And I worked at a gym, and I saw that man. I was like, yo, I was like, yo, all right. Maybe we can do a little something. Maybe we can hang out. I don't know. So we go to this sushi restaurant. It was really good, really fun time, really cool. The minute I like and then we're talking and everything. He was just like, yeah, you know, because I really wanted to meet you. Like the minute I met you and everything, we started talking. I deleted my Tinder and everything, and I'm just like, did you? He's like, yeah, because like, you know, it's just like I really like I kind of felt something between us. I'm like, oh, okay. I have to use the bathroom. I went in that stall. I deleted all my apps. I made sure. I'm just like, okay, let me delete it. Not that I was on them at that point, but I'm just like, I'm just gonna delete them real quick. We're just gonna be an even playing field. I'm just like, yeah, you know, I deleted them too. Yeah, of course. But we had an awesome time. We just laughed the entire time. And then we kind of like hung out at the mall. And then we were like, he was just like, oh yeah, I saw you made YouTube videos. I wanted to watch one. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, do you want to watch one together? I'm like, you want to watch my video with me here in front of you? So he was like, yeah, because you're really funny. I'm like, okay. So we were like watching my YouTube videos together. I was like, this is kind of cute. Like we were like, there was like a couch there. So we were just like, you know, hanging up on the couch. And then there was this guy who to this day, we're still confused about. There was this guy who came up to me and he was just like asking me like, cause he was like selling like candy. Cause like they do that. They're just like, oh, yo, they give you the candy and be like, oh yeah, give me money. I'm like, you gave me this. What? I'm just like, fine, we'll just buy it. And he said something something about butt sex. We both heard it, but we were so in awe about it. We just we just did not know. And then like he walked away and we were just like, what just happened? What did that guy say? It was something about butt sex, something about butt and about us, and something about us and butt. And I'm just like, what did he say? And I remember like when he was driving home, he was driving home, he was just like, what did he say? It was like 20 minutes later. I'm just like, I don't know. But I think the end of the date was my favorite part. It was we were driving around. He didn't want to leave yet, and I didn't either. So we were just driving around random neighborhoods. And we were just like house shopping. We were like, oh, look at this house. It's big enough for the whole family. Oh, this one is where Mildred and Margaret live. Oh, the lesbian couple. We love the diversity here. And then we get to the Petersons' house. The Petersons' house is lovely. Oh, with great ambiance and everything. And this man is smooth. This man was smooth because he was just like, oh, what I heard happened in front of the Peterson's house. I'm just like, what happened? He was just like, we kissed, and then he kissed me. I'm like, no. That shit was smooth. That shit was smooth. I'm like, oh, not only did you yes and me, because like, yo, if you can yes and my improv, I'm already wet. But the fact that you transition that into a move to kiss me, I call him up. I'm like, yo, he's the one. Just like, yo. That was the best. Yo, I'm sorry. No one ever did it like that. I'm just like, damn, he got me. He got me at that moment. It's like, this is my man. This is my man's. This is it. This is him. This is him. I'm marrying him tomorrow. That was the smoothest fucking thing. So then he dropped me off. And then it was a good date. Yeah. I let him hit it. I'm just, because he kept making fun of me because I'm just like, because this is real. I'm not touchy. I don't like being over affectionate. I'm not like touchy. Whatever. I need to get to know you in order to like be affectionate and like be touchy and stuff. I don't like strangers touching me. I have a thing with being touched. I don't like it. I feel like I was diddled as a child. Maybe I was. I don't remember, but like, I don't know. I don't like being touched. I don't. But then, like, after we kissed, I'm just like, like holding him and everything. He's just like, yeah, I don't like being touched, like mocking me. I'm just like, shut up. Shut the fuck up. So yeah, I let him hit it. It was great. We snuck him in my house. And then we started dating like a couple weeks after that. I think the day we officially decided we we were like officially boyfriends. It was when we went on another date. It was really good. And it was simple. I'm a very simple boy with some very simple needs. Like after, like, because he got me at that point where I was like, yo, he can do no wrong unless he like fucks me over. But other than that, he can do no wrong. We were on a great date. Like I drove down to see him because he lived like 45 minutes away. I drove down to see him, and then like we met up and everything, and then we went to go get Red Robin. I love me some Red Robin. I love bottomless sweet potato fries. Absolutely. We had that. We had a good time. Started banging in the parking lot. I was like, okay, great. And then we were going to go to a movie. We bought the tickets. And we were like, hanging out and everything, bought the tickets and everything. We're like, oh, what do you want to do to kill time? Banging again. Man. And then the movie we went to go see was Sausage Party, which, mind you, I don't remember anything from that movie. After that orgy happens, because if you don't know, there's a giant food orgy that happens in the movie, it wipes your brain. I didn't even know who I was. I don't know where I was. I'm like, what is going on? I just remember food fucking each other. I'm like, this is crazy. He just like, I don't know what happened. I'm like, same. Banged again. I'm just like, that was one of the best dates of my life. I'm so simple. I'm like, what? Because like the thing is, like, it's not about what we do. It's about the person. Hello, Tropical 04. Hello, you joined at a weird time. Sorry, I'm talking about my best and worst dates. I just talked about my worst dates. I'm talking about my best ones now. But yeah, just because my thing is like, it's not about what we do. It's about the people. It's about the person. It's about the connection. Like, as long as we have that deep, intimate connection together, as long as I care about you, as long as we have that like mutual respect for each other, then we could do anything and it will feel amazing. No, I we're talking about the good dates because these ones are good. But yeah, those were two of the best dates I've ever had. And honestly, any date I ever had with him was like one of the best dates. I kid you not, like dating him was like one of the best best experience I've ever had with a person. I'm not gonna lie. That's why, like, after we broke up, like, we were still like kept going back for each other. We kept like checking in on each other. We kept being obsessed with each other. I was more obsessed with him than he was with me. He was always like putting himself at an arm's length. And now, even to this day, my mom thinks that's the person I'm going to end up with. My mom's just like, that's that. You know, it's like, how's that David boy doing? He should come over. I could cook him some chicken, because my mom cooks some banging fried chicken, and she is determined to feed that man. I'm just like, lady, we haven't. Oh, Tropical said the first date I had was absolutely awful. Oh, tell me about it. No, really, because like I'm letting people talk about their own dates, because I gave them a prompt to talk about their best and worst dating experiences, and all they did was say things about me. I'm like, this isn't about me. This is about you. Why? Just like, oh, we should talk more. Who are you? Anyway, but yeah, that was honestly, like, I think like out of everyone I've dated, he's probably like the most, and this is why like I was absolutely in love with him. Like, I 100% head over heels, cartoonishly, this was the father of my children, like that kind of love. And then I do want to give an honorary mention, because it technically wasn't a date, but it was the first time I actually met E. And I know I've talked about you too many fucking times, like you're talking about every fucking episode, but it's just the reference, it's the theme of the episode. I saw, ooh, someone just left the podcast. I see that. I'm like, okay, I'm sick of it too, don't worry. But like, so the first time I went to go see him, he picked me up from the plane. We spent the night together, and then we went to an anime convention down by him, and it was a really good time. It was really fun. It was really great. It was nice to spend time with him. We were very close. We got to kind of like live out that fantasy as if we were always together, like physically, and we could actually be together for the first time. I got to meet his friends. I got to share the whole experience. His friends really liked me. I really liked them. It was just great. Like, I really loved everything about it. You know, it just like, it was like an experience I was just like, I can't really describe perfectly, because like I was just happy, and also sad at the same time, because I knew that was like, because I was going to see him because we already agreed that we were going to break up. Well, I didn't agree to it. I just like, I kind of had to kind of just accept that we were breaking up. So like, it was bittersweet, because like, you know, we get there, and he even had to reiterate while we were there, as we were leaving, that just like, you know, we have to break up, you know, we can't be together. And that sucked, because like I was so happy being with him and experiencing his life, and just seeing him happy, like just seeing him just like, because he was having so much fun. People were taking pictures of him, people were being around him, like we got to like meet different people, share different experiences. There's like a dance circle, and he was tearing it up. Just like seeing him live his life just made me legitimately happy. Like being down there, seeing him happy just made me so happy. You know, even if I knew the circumstance or I knew what it was going to lead to, just like seeing him happy made me happy. And it's still to this day, that's how it is. Like, you know, it's like, I think that's like happens when like you truly do love somebody. It's just that you are just happy with them being happy, even if it's their happiness doesn't come from you, you know? Um, yeah. So like, I really care a lot about that person, a lot. Yeah. So yeah, that was a good experience. We ate fried chicken, so that was fun. Also, DR different. DR is just different. We were in Santiago. I'm just like, I would go back. I would go back to Santiago at the same point. At the same time, I wouldn't yet, because I don't want to go somewhere that's tied so much to somebody that I currently am not speaking or talking or being around, but reminded of. I don't like ghost stories, you know? You know, if someday we decide to be friends, then I'd be fine going down there. But like, until that, I kind of, I'm gonna avoid that whole country. You know. All right. So Tropical says their dating experience. Oh, tell me about it, boo. All right. So I thought, you know, I tried to be a generous human being. I was in a relationship at the time, so I basically asked, "Hey, we've been seeing each other for about 3 months. Would you like to go out?" Which they did the following day. We went to a restaurant, and she showed no interest whatsoever and just seemed really off with me. So I was like, screw that. What happened? I hate that. I hate that shit because it's weird. Because like, you know what? It just I don't understand like how people can be one day, especially if you guys were like talking online or talking for like a consistent amount of time, and for some reason there'd be that switch up, just like, you know what? You're not what I expect. I don't want this. And just like I hate it. I do. Because like, I mean, that hasn't happened to me per se, but there have been times when just like I meet up with a person and I know they're expecting more, or they're expecting a different experience from me. Um, and then they either think I'm not into it, or I was shy. I hate that shit when they're just like, "Oh my god, you're so shy." No, because like whenever someone says I was shy, this is what actually happened. I'll tell my perspective, because like what actually happened was we talked. I tried to make jokes, they didn't land, and because like our humor is different, which is that's already a no for me. That's already a strike. That if our humor doesn't match, it's not going to work. I'm letting you know that now. But I was like, okay, let's just power through. And I was talking to them and just like everything. And I was like trying to make conversation, and then the conversation was flat. So I'm like, okay. And then like they weren't really retaliating with any like, questions of like depth or anything to like really go off of. So like, my answers weren't that great. And then after a while, like trying to make things happen or make conversation, I give up and I'm tired and I'm like, this isn't working. And we both know this. And then after we meet up or after the date, they're just like, they'll text me later and it's like, oh my God, you seem so shy. I'm like, I wasn't. I was this. I was me. I was me. It's just that this is not compatible with that. And that's just something we have to accept, or I get the opposite where like, I'm being me, and a person just like, nope, I don't want that. None of that plays. My favorite is when we don't even get to that point where I will like meet them on like a dating app or on something. And then they're like, oh, yo, let me get your Instagram. Like, oh, you on my Insta? Okay, here it is. It's my name. It's my literal name. They look me up. They either unfollow me or block me. It just immediately, and I never hear from them again. That profile on their dating app gone, mysteriously disappeared, or are they unmatched? I'm just like, okay. The minute they go on my internet, the minute they go on my Instagram, it's a wrap. They gone. They not there no more. I'm just like, okay, all right. I wonder what it could be. It could either be the memes. It could either be my self. Look, I know me. Again, I love me, care for me, love everything about me. 12 out of 10. But I'm like, I can admit, to the outside view, to the outside person, I can be fucking annoying. And I get that. I get it. So like, if this person's not into me, I'm not blaming them. No hard feelings. I get it. Tropical also says, let me tell you, we knew each other for years, and it was really well, she stopped communicating to me randomly, and I tried and she kept lacking the communication. I'm like, oh no. If it's like pulling teeth, it's not, there's no point to it. Cause like if that person, you have to actively try to like make conversation with or make things happen, and it's not reciprocating, it's not flowing naturally. And it's just like a reoccurring, especially if it's a reoccurring thing, it's just not worth the effort, because that person just does not formulate well with you, and that person's just not compatible with you. Because I've done that. I've tried. Because again, like I said, it's very rare that I feel something deep and something real with another person. It's very rare. So if I don't feel that, I don't waste my time. I don't waste the other person's time. I let them know it's like, it's not going to work out. Or just like, I'm not feeling it, or like what have you. It's just like, it's not going to happen. But there are times where I've tried, I've just like, let me power through it. Maybe it could be something, because this is a nice person. This is a cool person. We enjoy hanging out, maybe it could lead to something. Maybe I can develop something. Maybe it could be like that thing where like you get to know each other and like it's more, and like, there it is. It never came. I went on a couple of dates with a couple of nice people. Nothing wrong with them. I have nothing wrong to say about them, but I just was not into it. The communication is lacking. The humor wasn't there. I wasn't laughing. And if I'm not laughing with you, it's just like, it's not going to work. Like, because like laughter is really what ties into my relationships and my love life. It's just like, like that extreme ecstasy of happiness. That's what I want to feel like when I'm with you. And if I don't feel that, it's not going to work. And you can't force something that's just not happening. So like the fact that you were able to walk away from that is a good thing. Cause like a lot of people will just power through and stay with somebody just to settle, and just because it's someone they can stay with and someone who likes them back, because like they're lonely and they want to be with somebody and they want to hold that, and like that person's not running from them, therefore they're going to pull them closer because at least it's something. And that ain't me. Like you're either going to be it for me or you're not. That's it. um yeah, it just it is hard because like it's weird, like when it comes to dating, because like you know it really is just comes down to just like meeting up with somebody or meeting somebody or enjoying somebody and seeing if that can last for longevity, if that's that lasts for the long term. And it's crazy, it's fun, it's interesting. The thing is, I talked about this last podcast, is that I love being able to learn about new people, learn about their experience, learn about them. That's why I do like dating, because like I get to meet a new person, I get to talk to a new person, I get to connect with a new person. I like the experience. I like the hear the other person's experience. But longevity, the actual just like wanting to be with this person, wanting to spend my free time with this person. Because again, I've mentioned this before, when you're dating me, you're competing against me. Because like I love to spend my time with me. I love doing things for myself. I love doing things by myself. I love me. So if you're coming into my life, you have to compete with that. So it's like I have to love spending time with you more than I love spending time with me. I have to love laughing with you more than I love making myself laugh. I have to do things more. I have to want to be with you more than I want to be with me. Because if I want to be with me more, then I will just be by myself. So you're actively competing against me. And there's people who have, and I've talked about them in this video, who I love spending time with. I love being around. I will be there to support them. I will be able to help them. I will do anything for them because I love them at a point just like greater than myself, you know? And then there's people who are just like, they're cool. And like, they're fine, and it's like, that's just not the person I want longevity with. Like, if I think you're fine, but like, I'd rather be with me, then no, it has to be like, I love being with me, but I rather would be with you. That's how it has to be. Oh, Tropical says, speaking of bad dates, what's the worst one you've ever been on? You have to rewind this podcast. We talked about this. That was the beginning of the middle of the podcast, where I talked about my worst date. It was terrible, and we dated for 2 years. So, again, I don't regret that relationship. I don't regret anything about it. I think I learned a lot from that relationship. And I learned more about myself. I learned more about the things I love, and I don't regret it for a second. And honestly, I've said this before, I love C so much more now than I did when we were together. Because when we were together, we were conflicting on like everything. We were still trying to figure things out. We were still trying to just like there's still that expectation of just like what to do in a relationship when we're two polar opposites. But like now that we don't have that pressure, it's just like everything just flows smooth. And it was like, this is what I wanted. I wanted this except sex, with sex included. Now we have this, but we don't have sex. I'm like, cool. I'm like, right. I love that. So like, that's how we're able to form the close bond that we have now. Just like, cause like we were able to unlearn, cause like I said before, with like any relationship, anything with an ex or anything with old love interest, is that when you eventually come together again, even if it's as friends or something more, or like, or even if you start dating again, because sometimes that happens, you're not the same person you were as you broke up. Because once you guys break up, you guys are two different people going in two different paths. Sometimes those paths can lead back to each other in different ways, whether it's a relationship, what have you, or sometimes you guys just never meet again, which is also true, you know? And that's something you kind of have to accept, which is sometimes hard when you have a close relationship with someone, or you end a relationship that there was nothing wrong with, but like it just didn't work out due to distance or time or circumstances. It always varies, but like, it's something it's hard to accept, but like, you kind of just have to power through it. Tropical also says, in fact, I did have a really good date, and the person who I took basically said it was the best date of her life. Look at that. Tropical. Look at you. Let's hear about that date. I want to hear about your good date. That's awesome. Yeah, like I don't think I've ever been anyone's best date of their life, but admittedly, I'm not a bad date, but I don't think I've ever had the status like this is the best date of my life. I was just like, I've been a date. That was a good time. You know, that's also an interesting concept because like always like I've talked about this on this podcast. I'm like, okay, the best and worst dates I've had, how the other person made me feel. But I've never thought to think about just like because like again, it's two people going on a date, sometimes three, or more. And I'm like, how did I make them feel? You know? Because that's true too. Because like, you know, it's two parties, it's two sides. So like, well, how did I make them feel? Did I make them feel good? I hope so. Damn. I wonder if I was anyone's best date. Now I'm thinking, I'm just like, damn, I should hit up my exes back. Hey yo, was I your best date or not? I can already tell with someone, I'm just like, probably not. Like E, I was not. Because we didn't get the date really. C, I think so. Maybe. D, no, he's a whore. That man's a whore. Like I remember like after we broke up and we were like kind of like cool and like chilling out. Yeah, he was telling me about some of the people he dated because again we broke up because he had to go away to school. So he told me about the people he dated there. I'm like, you wild. I don't know how he got into. How do you even get into it? He was dating some man who had a burp fetish. He just had to make himself burp every time they did it, and I'm just like, that's extra. You extra. Where do you meet these people? I've never dated anyone who I'm just like, oh, absolutely not. This is terrible. Or just like they're crazy. I mean, I've talked about some bad dates on here, but they were just like either emotionally immature, emotionally just like not cognitive at all, or just dumb. And that's it. But not someone extra. I've never dated an extra person. I've never dated a toxic person who was just like, well, I never actually been with like a toxic person who was just like, you know, or with a person long enough where the toxicity was like present or in a relationship. I never dated anyone who had like an issue or threw an attitude or like had a temper. Because like I'm just like, if you try to get loud with me or just like try to like invade my peace, you're gone. I don't care. Like, like if you're just like make a whole big thing about it, or you're dramatic or you're full of drama, I'm like, I don't want to be with this. If you're gonna ruin my life, like if you're gonna cause me like dismay in my life and disturb my peace, why would I want to fight for this? Why would I would just let you go. That's the thing. Because like if I meet a toxic person or a person shows just like extreme behaviors, extreme aggression, or just like makes everything dramatic, or extreme jealousy because they don't trust me, or all these other things, I'm like, good luck. Like I don't care. Like if I lose you, good. Go. I don't know how some of these people stay with people. I'm like, damn, that person yelled at you, freaking beat you with a bat, freaking tore the tires off your car, fucking bit your dog, and you're just like, nah, but baby, that's love. Therapy. All right, so Tropical also says, so I was at college and I still go to college. So me and this girl was talking for a while, and I'd say 6 to 8 months, somewhere around there. Me and it scrolled up. Hold on. Blah, blah, blah. So somewhere around there. Me, being me, I asked her to go on a date with me, and I chose the date, and we went to this jazz bar. Oh, I love a good jazz bar. I love a good jazz bar. This sounds good. Which is near the beach, and we went in there, and we talked, ate dinner, danced together to listen to some jazz music, and finished the date with a nice walk on the beach while stargazing. That's a good day. You did good. You did good. That's the best day I had, and I wasn't even there. That's wow. Wow. That is, boy, the guy, girl, everyone. She wants another one. Of course she wants another. I want another one. Take me. That sounds amazing. Oh my god. Wow, that's cute. That's a cute date. I want to go. I'm about to just join. I'm going to be in the background. You won't even know I'm there. Look for the guy with the Hyrule hat. Uh, damn, that's a good date. Oh shit. D could never. D would never. Anyway, you know what's funny? Because like I've talked about dating and everything, but like because I've become over the last couple of years, like especially the last 2 years, I become so cognitive of just like or cognitive. I become so self-aware of just oh Rar says, "Lil, not me trying to think of a good date now." No. Oh, poor child. Well, here's the thing: it's like I became so cognitive. I became so self-apparent, so self-aware of certain traits that I have and certain traits that kind of work with me, and just like what I'm really compatible with and what I'm really looking for. That like I can like kind of I filter out a lot when it comes to like meeting people or talking to people and what have you. And I also became very self-fulfilled where I can't I can't just go out with a person just to go out with them or just like meet a person just to meet with someone, or I find the person aesthetically attractive, therefore I want to make things work with them. I want to like when it comes to dating with me, I need to actually really get to know you to really just be even okay with just the date. It's just like because like I know what I want, I know what I like, I know what works for me, and if I don't feel that from you already, it's just like it's not going to work out, or just like I'm not going to feel it, or just like it's not because I trust me, I've ignored those feelings before, and I pushed through and like went on dates, and I just end up being right. And it's like I don't. It's just not working. Like I really try to like just go let go of my instincts and just go for it, but like it just doesn't work out because I'm just like I don't like this. um so like with that being said, I haven't really been on a date in a hot minute. Like the last date I guess I went on was with E, and that was when we broke up, and that was in December. So and that wasn't even a real date. We didn't get to go on a date. That was it. And then before that, I think that guy I was talking was the guy who dated me because I was Spanish. And that was, I think, in March. Yeah. That was in March. Was it in March? No, I lied. That was the last guy I went out with was my now friend who friend zoned me. We'll call him the tennis boy because he plays tennis. And I've talked about him on my stream, but it's like I went out with him, and that was before he friend zoned me, and that was in March of last year. That was the last date I went on, like last actual date. That was our second date. After we had like again, this was the fourth best date I ever had. All we ever, and I talked about it on the podcast. I'm not going to repeat, so you can watch the last episode. I think I talk about it more in detail there. But basically, we like I was on a trip in Mexico, and we were like talking back and forth, texting nonstop. And then I got off the plane. He asked me to go see him, and we met at this restaurant, and we ended up talking the entire night. We closed down the bar, and we closed down the restaurant, and we just kept talking and everything. Really liked him, really liked him. And then we had a second date. We went to a buffet, and we again talking and everything. Um, and yeah, he just ended up friend zoning me after that. So I'm like, okay, cool. But yeah, that was actually one of the best. That's again one of the best dates I've ever had because like I literally got off a plane, went straight to go see him. It was a snowstorm, so I powered through a drove. I went to the wrong restaurant, so he ended up driving to me because I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's a problem. But yeah, that was actually one of the best dates I've ever had, and that was last March of last year, 2023. Yeah, 2023. That was the last date that last actual date I had. And I haven't really been on an actual date since. Yeah, I really haven't been on an actual date since. Yeah, I haven't actually been. Oh my god, I have not been on a date. Oh my god. I have not been on a date, like an actual date in like over a year. Because I can't count E, because we met up to go to a convention with his friends. It wasn't really a date, you know? We were dating, but we didn't go on it wasn't a date that we had. And also we broke up. So it's like, it wasn't the best time for me. But yeah, I haven't, wow. That's the last date I've been on. I'm so dumbfounded by that. I'm like, wow. I don't know if I think that's the longest time I went without going on a date. Not even like sex or just like what have you, or me like being with somebody. Cause like, no, I was like, my longest time single was like 4 years. Like after me and Kevin broke up. No, after me and D broke up. I was single for 4 years after that. It was like after Kevin was a year and a half. After D was 4 years. After C was 2 years. And now I've been single for like 5 months, which isn't that bad. I'm like, huh. I'm sorry. I'm just dumbfounded by that. I'm just like, wow, I really haven't been on a date, like an actual date. Wow. Anyway, I'm gonna end this soon. So because this is long. This podcast was supposed to be an hour long. I'm way over. Jesus, I got again. The podcast episodes are supposed to be only an hour long. I don't know why I end up talking for this long. It just I got into it. My bad. All right. Tropical says if you want a good date, go to a beach and get some ice cream. I want to do that. I don't think anyone wants to date me. That's a lie. People want to date me, but I don't think I have anyone I'm compatible with wants to actually take me out. So I'm like, or go out with me. So we're gonna put a pin on that. RAW says, fuck that. I'm taking myself on this week. Yo, I love self dates. Yo, self dates are the best dates. Let me tell you about that. Self dates when you take yourself out. Yo, that's my shit. I love it. Yo, there's a Thai food restaurant around my corner. I take myself there. Movies, I take myself to matinees all the time. If I want to go somewhere, like I took myself to see an off-Broadway play, Titanic. It's like a parody with Celine Dion as the narrator. Beautiful. I'm just like, I love that shit. Look, if I want to do something, I'm going to do it. I don't need anybody. I don't need anyone there. If you really want to go to something, just go. If you're like worried about like, oh, everyone's looking at me. Oh, everyone's going to judge me. Oh, I'm alone here. This is embarrassing. No one gives a fuck. No one even knows who the fuck you are. Go by yourself. No one's looking at you. No one cares. Do what you want by yourself, because going on dates by yourself is the best possible thing. I love it. I love going dates by myself. Like, because there's a lot of shit I want to see, a lot of shit I want to do. I can't wait on somebody. I can't rely on anyone to do these things with me. If I want to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to just go. Like, you want me to wait for somebody to do the fuck? If I wait for somebody, like I said before, I've been single for years. I've been single for months. At this point, I think I'm going to be single for a while after my last relationship. So I'm like, I'd be waiting for a long ass time if I wait for some man or some person to come come into my life and change that. I'm gonna take myself on dates. Absolutely. Tropical says, I need advice. The girl who I took on a date wants a relationship with me. What do I do? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? That's what I want to know. What do you want? That's the important thing. Cause like, you have to be honest about not only with her, but with yourself on like what exactly is you want. Cause like, do you want something long-term? Do you want a relationship, or are you right now just looking to date or just looking for the companionship? Cause there is a difference. And I've talked about this before, cause like, this is like what I originally wanted before Ian entered my life and ruined it. Is that there's a difference between wanting a companion and then wanting a partner. A partner is the person you do things with, you work up towards the future with, you build a life with, you're really like working towards. Like that is a companionship that you also build. You're building a foundation, you're building a life together, you're building longevity. That's a partner. A partner is there to support you through thick and thin, to be there for you. They are meant to be in your life, and just like you want them to be there, and they need your support as much as you need theirs. And a companion is just like someone you hang out with, someone who's chill, someone who's cool, no pressure, no anything. They do their thing, you do your thing. that was my dream. That's what I wanted. I was just like, oh, I just want a companion, someone to hang out with, on occasion, someone to be there on occasion. And that's kind of my mindset, where my mindset is now. Like, it's nice to have someone there sometimes, but like, I'd rather do my own thing. Being with E, though, E changed all that. I'm just like, oh, I want a companion. Met E, I'm just like, I want to marry this man. I want to have his babies. I want to have his children. We're going to fall in love. We're planning a summer wedding. And then that didn't work out. So then I went back to like, companion's nice. Someone who's there sometimes, I guess. I don't know. But, it really, for me, it depends on the person. Like, I need a person to just come into my life who's just like, I need that. Someone who's just like, bam. But like, it's rare. It's a rarity. Tropical says, I want it, and it's all okay. I can't read, sorry. I want it and all. I'm just consistently busy all the time with college and doing YouTube videos. Trust me, I get that. I was that. So like, I totally get that. Honestly, I would let that person know, just like, right now, a relationship is not what you can do, or you have to balance a lot right now. You have to focus on yourself. You do possibly want something in the future, but also at the same time, don't lead them on into thinking that just like, it's a definite, they just have to wait. They have to do this whole thing. Cause like, at this time, just like, if you want to focus on you have to allow that person to also be open, just like, other opportunities as well too, because what a person does choose to do, whether they choose to stay, whether they choose to wait, whether they choose to date other people or do what have you, is completely up to them. But you have to give them the freedom to do that, because if you want to focus on yourself, focus on your career and everything, and you don't really want to balance a relationship right now, and you don't think that's the best solution, you have to let that person know. So they'll be able to kind of like, decide what they want, because that's the important thing. But if you really want it to work and you really want it to like kind of go, and you're gonna dive into it, then, and you're gonna try to make it work to balance, then you have to make the time to like have that person included in what you're doing and just like see if it can work out. So that choice is up to you and your circumstance, what you really feel is best for you. But you really just have to put all factors into account. Just like you have to put in factors of their feelings and what works best for you specifically. If you're okay with just like, putting a back burner on this relationship and this situation, just like letting this person know and just like letting them off into the fields to like be like, hey, I really like you, I really care about you. This is really good. I love that I met you, but I have to focus on me right now. So like, I don't want to hold you up. Then let that person have the freedom to explore and everything. But if you want to keep that person, you don't want to lose that person, you don't want to lose the opportunity, then you try to make it work, try to make it balance, try to make it work into your schedule in your life. Again, it doesn't have to take up everything you do, because I don't think any relationship, rather, whether a person's busy or not, should take up their whole life. But like, you have to really just decide what works best for you right now and what really you want. I've done that. It was nice. Oh God, when she said college and YouTube videos, I had flashbacks of like fucking 2011. I'm just like, oh yeah, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm just hanging out. I'm gonna see my boyfriend today. Drive fucking 7 hours to go see him. I got on a bus for 7 hours to see that man for long weekends, Kevin. Jesus. Look, if I love you, I'm traveling countries, I'm climbing mountaintops. I will do anything to get to you. Nothing's coming between me and the D. Nothing. I flew to a different country. I have my passport already. I got some pesos. I'm like, bitch, we doing it. I love doing YouTube. I love doing YouTube too. I loved it. I want to go back to it. I just don't have the time anymore. Just because like life, But anyway, guys, this podcast was way too long. These episodes are supposed to be an hour. Oh, you make iceberg videos? I want to check it out. I'm gonna look it up after. But anyway, these episodes are supposed to be an hour long. The podcast is different from my normal streams. It's not supposed to be this long. My last 2 episodes were like almost 2 hours each of just nonsense. So I'm so sorry if you're listening. I'm so sorry if you're watching, but thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to like this video, share to whomever. This is great background noise, so feel free to put it in on the background. That's what I do with a lot of podcasts or things I follow or watch. Like I watch a lot of 5-hour docuseries. Like I watched the one on iCarly, which is my favorite one. And it's fun to have on the background when you just don't want to think, basically. When you did that voice a second ago, it sounded like a dude from The Simpsons. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. These episodes are too long. But I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Normally I have this show on Sundays, but I might be moving it just because I like my weekends, to be honest, and I like to do things. So we'll see. But if anything, normally this podcast is Sundays at 12:30 in the afternoon. If it's not there, then I will have them on Mondays, Tuesdays, Mondays probably. I like Mondays. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. Feel free to like, subscribe, follow, share, kiss. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Stay awesome. I've been doing Stay Awesome for a very long time. Bye. See ya. Night.